From 1st of September, Nana Kwame Bediako I did a manifesto which him says Ghana former Aquina or by president of Ghana. And Numa or the Begu Aquam said about Ghana, I betum pon. Yet the part one of the manifesto Ebremo. Another 6th part or the last part of the manifesto. Yadaba Sumunia Chichimu, Aquina Nana Kwame Bediako said, Oba, and ask your two Abamano to become the president of the Republic of Ghana. Or the Begu Aquam said about Ghana. This is the part 2 of the video. And to part 1 and share, check through our videos. We bring part 1 no now be connected with this one. So and I know first down, not subscribe, not like a video, no share. I'm for fun. So and you be share. We are now ready for sale, but you and say the be a no. Meaning any Simon the shining now. You can't part 1 anymore. You can't see a 6 pillars. No, you can see pillar 6. They are twice. Pillar 7 on the list of Nana Kwame Bediako's manifesto. No. Or say or be a friend of industrification. Or industrification or say industrialization and or the education and or the American or industrification. I don't know what kind what you say. Ghana has a education system no as a yenshada industrialization sa enti no besha ye niema bi e wo ha se ni yenshada hu anim ehunim de ne akofo obi fra brochiri no na baba ye hunim de anaso no na baba process sa ne man ade amaye enti ono ne manifesto no de ahyem say ye to abama na aba ne be ye president of Ghana obe make sure say ye nkura brem na ye bana no asate de sa ne man adua emu ene ma bi te say natural resources ye minerals ne ade no ekwan be so ne be fa so ye betima process sa ne man nyina ye values ye cultures ne niema bi e wo se ye sua wo ye nkura brem no e wo se ye sua ansakra ne yenyi wo se ade kura ntina eye Ghana ne ye te Ghana hala da bia so ye sua eye ade e fa mbrofo ho wabla there are so much to learn about Ghana eye Africa ha say na da bia ne sori na America na Europe na say ni say o se wo ba sa ne man nyina ba betwem ye syllabus a ada ho niema ye hweso edi sua de na niema ye hweso de kire nkra de e wo school no was ada ho be centuries ni over decades be 20 decades ago and that so sa aye syllabus yi wa ye na adwen last was si na adwen pese o ba sa ne madada ni nyina ba bebo e de agu nchen.
Industrification. It's industrialization with education coming together. We coined this word by merging industrialization and education. Why do we continue to use a curricula and a syllabus that are over a century old? And why is it talking about Europe and America? Why can't you study about your ground? Why don't you know about how to dig your gold? Why does it have to take somebody to come from outside to find where your gold is? Why do you have to give your cocoa to someone before he turns it to chocolate for you? What happened? What happened to you knowing about your sea, that you have oil in there and it can create petrol for you? We need to educate Ghanaian children about Ghanaian values, culture, minerals, the minerals and how it gets processed, and agriculture and the values that can come out of it, the power of supply and distribution. We need to de-westernize the curriculum. And that's exactly what we're doing. We need to build an industrial mindset, very important. Industrialize the curricula, tailor education to our industrial needs. And out of that, we're going to start building entrepreneurs. We're going to start building industrialists. We're going to start building business leaders. See, what I've realized about Ghana's education is you spend 21 years of educating yourself, and then after, you go look for a job, only to find out that there are no vacancies. When you can be a businessman before you even get your degree. Why do we keep going out there looking for jobs?
For moving on to pillars 8 on the list on Nana Kwame Bediako's manifesto, was say by Kubinsu your friend environmental and human rights protection. Yeni kan environmental protection in the pillars no oka ba kubia no oka reservoir reserves hoasem. Now also reserves no say your reserve sa ne mani nyina na se yam protect sa ne mana a waste of time. And that's a waste of resources. Say you better keep in your money egu ho. Ne ye hu kwan be fa so be boss ha ne ma ne ho ban no. Was a Ghana ye maintenance culture some from pa to say ya BBS one ye be shama de no ya bo ho ban from into a ban we be make sure say environmental protection ye be fa serious pa wotim to go ha say dua bi so no akotwa to baby by heart na ensuo ne de galamsey say ensuo ne ade ye forest ne ade ne nyina etu galamsey ni nyina na Kwame Bediako so oba obe make sure say ye be protect sa na man ye water bodies ni ade na se amunya news say Cape Coast ye say some part of the religion no some part of the region no muntimi Ghana Water Company so muntimi supply in so because of galamsey activities a pollute in so ni nyina na Kwame Bediako so wo kirima wo ba sa environmental protection be make sure say ye be hwe ni edi so yi.
Do you know that protecting this environment means you're protecting your reserves? Look at the reserves, I've spoken about it. Look at the trillions. Look at the amount of jobs that it can create. Look at the economy. Look at all of these things. So it's our reserves. And guess what? We are now protecting our reserves. That is our hidden treasures. The reserves is also in the hidden lands, in the waters, the oil, the fishes, the gold, the bauxite, the lithium. It's all in the ground. It's in our water. It's in our farms. So why are we not protecting it? Why is maybe an institution like EPA busy chasing me for residual income or chasing the average Ghanaian for a permit that is given already when their main aim is to protect these valuable assets? Okay, I mean, you're looking at something like the water poisoning of this country right now. It's hilarious. Almost every water body is poisoned. And we are talking about a water connection, purification, and irrigation. Do you know what it's going to cost us to do that? This water purification, to get all our waters back to the way it is. Do you know that this water poisons the land? And this is the land that we grow our crops on.
But we also say environmental and human rights protection. What culture say obia benya right to everything and nipa no o deserve it. They say you have the right to vote. Obe make sure say obia vote no is accessible to everyone. Obia we of age say wo say wo to aba, obia of age say we BBC a emre bi si wo ho kwan say wontimi nya no. Obe make sure say human right protection nipa omra anase wo freedom a wo de ye wo niam no. Obe make sure say everyone has its own freedom a wo de be ye de opese wo de ye bia enye say bia wo travel boundaries no akoye de ope ba wo make sure say wo human right de ade a emre bi ese fata wo say de ma wo na say ni de bia wo say nipa say anase ye hwe na fata wo say de ma wo bia na de be ma wo.
Okay, for me, democracy is only an illusion unless the people's voice can be heard. But why have we disenfranchised millions of young people for so long? Why? Why have we stifled their voices? Let's allow the young people to vote. Let's allow them to have a voice. Let's remember that we've lived more than half of our future, or we have already outlived our future, and let's prepare the grounds for the young people. Let their voice be heard. Let them be a part. Use the appropriate institutions to educate young people about their voting rights. That's democracy. It's their voting rights, it's their human right. The voter registration must be open and accessible so long as a citizen turns 18.
Alafa number 9 pillar when na Kwame Bediako a manifesto mo say the apostolic governance. The apostolic governance in the first video and as part 1 of this video me chire mu chire say the apostolic no 12. The 12 apostles no so you can say relating to Yesu esuafo so. Ono wase wo ba no wo ba be ka chire obi ase onkofa be 45 ministers and as onkofa 120 ministers bia na Kwame Bediako say you voting into power obefa 12 ministers pe na sa ni pillars ya obobo so each minister is going to take care of every pillar our mention our manifesto mu and it's the 12 pillars of economic freedom no each minister bia be take care of sa ba pillar ba ko bia benim so what ase a ento no one confer ministers be brave mo megu ho me ha adwen me ye unnecessary name bia of 12 ministers, one president, 12 ministers no ma share the pillars are I want the manifesto no be about ko bia make sure say obi a hwe so no obi a di ne dwuma say de say na say fata.
Apostolic Governance, the 12 ministries. I mean, Apostolic Governance, it's a title, some title right here. But it's the 12 ministries. They say less is more. Our government will be the leanest, most efficient in the history of African politics. We present to you the Apostolic Governance, 1 president, 12 ministers. Create a lean government that will be responsible for the 12 pillars.
And for number 10 on the list, and I said the 10th pillar, I am raising Ghana's first $50 billion. And I call it Bediako Casa Assembly or Kadi to say, when you say being see that now people are asking, say, how are you going to generate this kind of money? And I said such huge amount, even $3 billion cry, kwa jiwa baby, I am in my now quite best sooner than Kwame Bediako Befaswa. Or bet just $50 billion see Edia Magana, Edia Puntu Numa, Ghana, or see you Munti. A Juma way, one Ghana immigration, and everybody say Juma way. Or see the Intino Ghana your passport, because of only new more Dibu Aquamuntin on him say. The Ghanaian economy no ebe booming like ebe cost 3 year pa. Entino will be an investor be a ben again say or beba Ghana ha about a business or ha say no. And also we hear 1 million Africans to be part of Ghana. Now or generative says can FM or no. We're monetizing our passport. Say that your mobile talk your passport no that generative scan at Ghana.
One of the biggest pillar, surprisingly. I guess the title alone, Ghana raising Ghana's first $50 billion. I mean, this kind of figures when you call, it's like, how is Ghana ever going to make this money? Because we're only struggling over $3 billion and we barely get it. So how are we going to raise $50 billion? Yes, we are going to raise $50 billion. Says who? Says the young man standing in front of you. This vision and this policy is going to make it happen. If you ever wondered where all this money will come from, well, this is it. And it's very simple. So we decided a collaboration between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Interior come together for one purpose: to empower the immigration services of this country and create the citizenship package to monetize Ghanaian citizenship only for Africans. Now I know that this vision and this idea is going to save Ghana, but it's the phase 1 of it. The target is 1 million Africans to invest 50,000 in Ghana in exchange for Ghanaian passport. They can invest in our gold, they can invest in our oil, they can invest in our agro processing, they can invest in all the things I've told you, because Ghana will have the biggest, most booming economy and is going to attract Africans to come in this country. But they will also want to be a part of Ghana's legacy. And so we have to take advantage of that and raise the 50 billion from Africans by Africans.
The 11th pillar on Kwame Bediako's manifesto was say the national security and data protection. I know Anna Uchemu say Ghana how even a hospital crash as a book bebre necessary honum. Book bebre yes a friendly folder. And no any save a health records nyina wom. Oko schools ma your books bebre na Google ho and yes terminal report. Yes say Nana Kwame Bediako se baba and are you voting into power. Adia Obey say your health records. Ninina, he's going to put them on a record be so and in a data format. And ya fe na contribute tin bia kwa bibia. Any your community stock. Say ebia Ghana you go there wo and I say bia your name bia your one your team bana ya one or ninina be go on records. And the panyin bia ntimi ntena baby the tin nko yi bi mfiri mu say adene na ye 20. Say ya ka 10. Now says a 10 you unaccounted you who quite fast so a 10 free man yellow how did they be see that obe make sure say commodity be a Ghana e will be ano you be putting in the data form say the buyer your question e kira kwan yenim say 10 go your corner 10 no one every man yenim there dey ashanensa we go straight to the person and ask the person say boss ya de anema 10 na show sa adenti na ba ya aka 9 na wa yiwo no wanti ma nyiwa no a ene emra no na ni wadi.
And it's national security and data protection. I mean, we have national security, but we should remember this. Data is the new blood, and we must secure it. We need the data. That's why we're building the data centers. That's why we're minting. That's why we're building the blockchain and the Web3. The Web3 to store the data and information of this continent. Our aim is to build Ghana's first Web3 platform to support the National Sovereign Wealth Fund. Migrate all national data to a national Web3 platform and store our health records. I mean, to build this government blockchain, it should have the department to really store our health records, our academic records, our stocks of commodities, and agro reserves on the blockchain network, our gold reserves, our land reserves, all the reserves. See, you could see that these pillars are supporting the ministries, and now corruption will be hard for one to commit. Because we're creating wealth, creating jobs amongst ourselves, and we don't need to rob ourselves anymore. But we need to have these platforms to support our stocks and our records. See, we have to make the government transactions, data and information transparent. This system is going to make it impossible to edit. You can't enter again. If we have 10 million ounces of gold, we have 10 million ounces of gold. If it's reserves, no one can change it. You can't edit it. We have to make this a national data and information base that is also publicly accessible.
Last on the list, sports and creative industry. And now Kwame Bediako, according to him, in his manifesto, no, was it sports? You take sports for now. Was it sports? No, who say Ghana high and shall take sports serious. Oba, he's going to invest more into volleyball, basketball, and the rest. Oba be see a sports academy. Ewo a system region no be Oba be see a sports academy or because I say I may not have me no say you never know the next Messi, the next Kudus, the next Asamoah Gyan, the next Cristiano Ronaldo. Munim baby a washe. Enti say kasi ye ani di bibi a kwahye enkran. Na say abrantie bi a washe eye esanse bontefo onim bobo. Na say wanya academy bi a mama training no. Now also the dreams is to become a professional footballer and amba into reality. Better yetima benya the likes of Asamoah Gyan and the rest. And to work out Ghana for say if he is voted into power, obe make sure say 16 regions what Ghana has say ni nyina oba be see a sports facility or modern one, multifunctional one. Ebe share say sa enkra we nyina no ebe training omo. Na alongside say omo training omo in sports no obe make sure so the education ebe attach no say na be ya wo ko school ni nyina no na wo sa training ho in football and I say in this sports activity
And pillar 12 is the pillar at the cornerstone of this country. A lot of people cannot see the value of it, and we did not invest in it right. So we're now becoming victims to the international world for those who have trained theirs and made theirs better. And that's sports and the creative industry. Well, I know that Ghana has breeded a lot of stars, musicians, footballers, but how many of them? You can probably count them. Our approach to the sports and creative industry is ownership and control. We need this. We need ownership and control. We have to own the academies, own the music catalogs, and own the distribution power. How are we going to do this? Let's start by the sports. I mean, first of all, everybody watches football from outside every day, and they actually depend on it. But hey, we can invest in the sports sector. Basketball, lawn tennis, and boxing, and etc. Well, this is our plan. First, we're going to build 16 multifunctional sports academies in all the regions. Because we don't know where Ronaldo is, we don't know where Messi is. You can find them in any of the region, and therefore we're not going to discriminate. We make sure that there are academies to search for these talents everywhere in Ghana, and we're going to nurture them, grow them, own them, and they also have to own us.
Creative industry in so Nana Kwame Bediako HMA or BCC ultra modern studios. They say Hollywood type, Tyler Perry type of studios near the BCC studios akasia or make sure say ebema creative industry no be anya ho quality recording in near man as obeye dwumadie bi and the creative space no metimanya space our pretty. We also about creative distribution platform ebetima protecting the right of creatives. Enkoye se wo ye adwuma no bi abefa adwuma na kwakọ ye de obeye bia wa abla wunya mfaso bia wo so royalties de obebe sure say creative person bia benya na so and then royalty we ene Nana Kwame Bediako the gospel according to Nana Kwame Bediako the manifesto or they to just say the 12 pillars of economic freedom our they to just say Ghana for ebo modern to abama na so be president of Ghana or the begu akwemu ama Ghana ye tumpon from baby e we akodum pempen so foforo. Out of full video, yeah, meaning say part 1 of the video, and this is the last part of the video. What share what seeing and Kwame Bediako and some and the policies are also a bar or be put in place. Said by Ghana, Ibenya in Punto. Out of all, in your own understanding, and they said the Messiah Church and Kwame Bediako the policies. No, what do you think about him? Do you think say he stands a chance to say or by winning these elections? And I say, wo a wo hwe video yi wo beto aba e dia man Nana Kwame Bediako ana. I mean, who again chere comment section. Me didn't see more the chance and no face that no subscribe, no like a video, no share, I'm for fun so and you be a share. Macramo. Any developing story be about this manifesto, no, and we make sure that the Bible some our has no face that no subscribe, I'm a man. Macramo. The best share in the next video.